All right. Okay, we're on.
Hi, Carlos.
Hey, how are you doing today?
I'm doing all right.
Well,
Looking out the window, beautiful. The snow is coming down.
yes.
They're saying close to 20 inches.
Wow, that's seriously?
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
did it start? Because I worked last night.
It started about, I want to say 11 a.m. this morning,
Oof.
and we've got some accumulation
It's
already
coming down
out
pretty
there.
hard.
Yeah, it is.
In some places, they don't care about this kind of snow, but we're not used to that here.
Yeah, there's nowhere to put it,
I haven't seen it snow like this in a long time,
right?
you know? But yeah,
We need it. We need it. It cleanses the air.
yeah, it does. But it's problematic for people who need to go to work.
Yeah.
Like I know colleagues that have to go into work today. Just be safe.
Yeah. Well, tomorrow is the governor issued a state of emergency.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so tomorrow.
I didn't think she did that yet.
No, she did. Yeah,
Finally.
for Monday. Yeah.
Yeah, because I know the college is closed tomorrow, so I'm off. I have
There you
a
go.
snow day,
Yep.
and I'm off from my other job. This is perfect.
Yeah. My director told us to stay home. Doesn't want us driving, but we have to work.
Yeah. I mean, I still have stuff to do. I mean, this past week is brutal because my other job kicked in,
There you go.
and I didn't like that.
The candle at both ends.
It was nice just working one job, so I was able to concentrate a little bit more on this.
Yeah.
But now it's getting challenging to juggle the three things. Yeah, so we haven't recorded in a while.
No, we haven't. And you know what's different? Normally when we record, it's dark out. We're by the windows, and it's kind of dark. In the house, but it's nice when it's light out. It
Yeah.
gives you a different feeling.
Well, in the summer, it's going to be like this or
Yeah.
later,
Yeah,
right?
right. But we're gonna have to deal with the AC going on and off at that time.
Yeah, now we get the... So what I do now is I warm it up in here, and then I turn it off.
There you
And
go.
so by the time we're done, it's going to be cold again in here.
Yeah.
But, so yeah, welcome to episode 4. I guess we do have some brief clarifications. I guess we were talking about Nobel Peace Prize last time. It was Maria Machado of Venezuela, not this person from Hungary. I don't know why you kept saying Hungary.
No, there was the Nobel Peace Prize winner was from Hungary.
Who?
Maybe she wanted, look it up. Look it up.
Maria Corina Machado. I just looked it up. Yeah, 2025.
Was there another award?
No. Maybe it was another time. I don't know what you were thinking, but no, I just looked it up.
Well, something.
I looked it up
Do you
earlier.
mind if I take a second to Google this?
Go ahead.
Okay. I'm going to talk into this right here.
He loves the use of his AI.
Did a Hungarian woman win the Nobel Peace Prize this year?
No, see? Even AI is
So
telling.
who the hell was I thinking of? Because I talked about it with my director, my vice president,
Mm-hmm.
and she agreed with me. Maybe it's another prize that was out there, and I confused
It was something else. Yeah,
Yeah.
but this was a big deal because
Yeah.
the reason why it was such a big deal, because she's from Venezuela, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she gave the fucking prize to Trump, which was weird, right? How fucked is that?
Yeah.
Like, and the thing is, I don't think it's weird or fucked up that it's Trump that she gave it to. It's the fact that you just take your Nobel Peace Prize and go, here, yeah, I gift it to you.
Yeah, right out of a Cracker Jack box.
I know, right? Kind of like,
Nothing like diminishing such
what a way to devalue this shit.
right? God.
But how weird is it that he's like, sure, I'll accept.
Yeah.
Right. But I mean, I think the organization made it very clear that no, you didn't win it, dude. Even if someone handed it to you, doesn't mean that you're going to be
Right.
the Nobel Prize Peace winner of this round, right?
He just has possession of it. He doesn't have the accolades.
Yeah, but I think that's really bizarre that he would accept this. And I think this is going on with other things too. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not sure which ones I'm.
Well, you know something? Robert Kraft showed Putin his championship ring from the New England Patriots.
Mm-hmm.
And Putin asked to try it on. And he tried it on and didn't give it back.
No.
Yep, didn't give it back. He kept it. Yeah, like a $40,000 ring. And Kraft was a little pissed off by it, but then he just said, fuck it,
Yeah. Like, what do you say to a dictator? Give me back my shit?
Yeah, no shit, right? Especially when you're in Russia.
What the fuck? Why were they in Russia?
I don't know what he was doing.
Were they playing a fucking game?
Promoting the NFL? I don't know why he was there.
Why?
That's crazy.
Why would you? Oh, man. Okay, fuck Putin.
Unbelievable,
Come on.
right?
Yeah, for real. Like, well, I guess he knew he wasn't going to get the Ukraine, so what an asshole. Like, that's such a... Yeah, how do you ask for that shit back?
Imagine.
You know?
So, yeah, check it out, right? In 2005, New England Patriots owner Robert Kraft alleged that Russian President Vladimir Putin took his Super Bowl ring during a meeting in St. Petersburg. While the Kremlin has maintained the ring was a gift, Kraft later claimed he was pressured by the White House to say it was a gift to avoid diplomatic incident.
Oh, come on. Such bullshit.
$25,000 diamond-encrusted Super Bowl ring.
Oh, yeah. So it didn't really make a fucking difference because look at the bullshit that we're having with Russia now.
I know, right? Well, check this out. The action on this was, according to Kraft, Putin tried on the ring, remarked, "I can kill someone with this ring," and immediately put it in his pocket.
What a motherfucker.
Kraft stated that Putin was then surrounded by 3 KGB agents and walked out with the ring.
God damn.
Unbelievable.
That is unreal.
Wow.
God, someone hand me that ring. So what happens if you hand me that ring and I walk away?
I know, right?
Tackle my ass.
God.
Fuck that.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, that is unreal.
So Mr. Kraft probably had to order another ring.
Yeah. Fuck Putin. I'm sorry. I stand by fuck Putin at this
what
point.
makes you think that you can just do that to somebody?
Well, he's a fucking dictator.
Yeah,
look what he's doing. look, I'm sorry to keep saying this, but look what Trump is doing.
No,
what
I
the
know.
fuck, man?
Yeah,
He's turning into that bullshit too.
Unbelievable.
Also, in our last episode, you talked about a girl that you grew up with.
Yeah, Debbie.
Yeah.
Yeah, we spoke about a tomboy in my neighborhood who used to play sports with us. And, after we had the podcast, I was, my curiosity struck me. And I Googled her to see if I could find her, and I did. And she was living in Portland, Maine, but she passed away 10 years ago.
That was a bummer.
Yeah. And I read her obituary. She was a tomboy back then. Everybody thought that she liked girls, because she was masculine. She played boys' sports. But she after high school, she moved to, after high school, she went to, she joined the Air Force. And then after the Air Force, she settled down, got married, and raised a family in Portland, Maine.
Wow.
So, here I am thinking all these years that she was a lesbian, and she wasn't, and she had kids. And the obituary did say that she was an avid sports, fanatic. She played, softball and hockey and, and baseball and whatnot. And she was good at it.
Yeah, and it did say that she was good at it still, right?
Yeah.
Before she died.
It was her. You know?
There was no denying that was her, because that was exactly the description that you gave when you talked about her.
And she was from East Boston, and it said that she graduated East Boston High.
No, that's a bummer.
Yeah,
it would have been cool to connect with her.
Yeah. And she passed away from breast cancer in her early 50s.
Oh, that's another thing to say fuck to.
I know,
fuck
right?
Cancer.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, cancer wreaked havoc in my family. My dad died of lung cancer. My ex-wife, she had to get a double mastectomy because, she did it preventive because, her mother
Yeah.
had it. And, they found a little spot with her, with my wife, and she didn't gamble. She had a double mastectomy. But her mom died, had one off, then the next one off, and then it came back years later.
Yeah.
And, it metabolized to her brain, and she passed away. But it hit two of my sisters. My sister Grace and my sister Elia, they both had surgery on the same day. It was just coincidence.
Wow.
They didn't
my
plan
God.
it. Yeah, they had surgery on the same day. My older sister is still alive, in remission. But my sister Grace, with her, it came back after many years, and it went to her brain, and yeah, she passed 3 years ago. And,
I'm sorry.
Yeah, she was the glue to the family. After she passed, she was the gel that kept us all together.
I'm sorry.
Like she had the big house, where we would all go during the holidays. But my brother-in-law has since met another girl. Life goes on,
Yeah.
and things are just different. With him.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but I miss them all.
My cousin, Lisa, was diagnosed with breast cancer I want to say in her late 30s, early 40s. Yeah, late 30s. And the thing is, like, there's none in the family. There was no history of cancer in our family for any of the women or the men.
How old is Lisa?
I want to say Lisa is probably, well, I'm 50. I think
Early
she might be
40s?
44.
Yeah.
44, 45. But
Great gal.
yeah,
She
she's
really is.
such a sweetheart, isn't she?
We got to spend some time with her over the Christmas holiday.
And so she was fighting cancer a few years ago.
Yeah.
And I guess she felt something suspicious, or her doctor did, I forget. But the bottom line is, like, she got checked.
Mm-hmm.
She got it biopsied, whatever she felt. And it was already stage 2 going on 3.
Damn.
So, yeah. And there's no history in our family at all.
Right.
And it's crazy that now cancers are being found in people that are younger.
Right.
And I guess that's why the checks are now earlier. How now I had to get a colonoscopy earlier. Like at 50, I was already 5 years too late.
My daughter has the gene, and like the odds are totally against her because her grandmother and her mom both had breast cancer.
Wow.
So like she's thinking about having them removed and getting implants. And she's 38.
Yeah.
It's
It's a big decision.
It is.
Because the thing is, Lisa didn't have the mastectomy done because there are no guarantees. Right. And that's one of the things that she was educated on, because I guess in her brain, she wanted to do that to protect her life. But her surgeons, they were her oncologists, and she's in New York,
Right.
But she dealt with them all over the country. And they said that doing the double mastectomy does not guarantee that the cancer will never come back.
Right. Yeah.
It's just really where it's found, right? And usually with women, it's more common for breast cancer to occur like closer to their armpit.
Right.
Where the breast there's a tail, from the breast that goes towards the armpit area.
Right, yeah.
And they refer to that as the tail of Spence. That area is where it's probably more commonly found. If I'm wrong here, please, somebody in breast cancer.
Just to lighten up this conversation just a little. When I went when I went to the doctor with my ex-wife, to the surgeon who was going to do the implants. She was a doctor in Beverly, Mass. And, we went into the doctor's office, and she had like a white toolbox, big white toolbox. And she opened the drawers, and all the implants are in there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I started, like playing with them. Like, I like this one, maybe this one, And then I had a couple of them, and I started to juggle them. And she was like, "Don't you put those back."
Those are expensive.
What is wrong with you?
Yeah.
I was just trying to make light of the situation,
It's how do you talk about that situation,
I
right?
know.
That's not.
But something, Carlos, after my wife had the surgery, like they remove your nipples, and probably maybe 5 months later, she had the way the doctor did the surgery, she had the doctor cut and made it look like nipples,
Yeah.
But then she went and had it tattooed. Like had it tattooed to make it look like, to enhance what the doctor did.
Yeah.
And the tattoo around it. I don't know what you call that round dark
The
spot.
areola.
The areola. There you go. Yeah, so she had that tattooed on, and it looked good. It really did.
Yeah, they come a long way with
looked
these
good,
things
yeah.
now. Yeah, so the latest and greatest, according to Lisa, was the double mastectomies. Not really a thing. Oh, do you hear the snow plows outside?
They're out already.
They are out already.
God,
and probably going to snow for another day.
Yeah, yeah.
But anyway, forgive the noise. I'm going to try to damper that a little later.
It is what it is.
Yeah. But yeah, the latest and greatest isn't that anymore. And the latest and greatest, believe it or not, is they're not really telling women or teaching women to check themselves. They used to do self-checks in the shower.
Right.
Well, that's what we used to teach women. But I still encourage women to do that, especially during their period where, the nodules and things like that could start to harden or, there's some changes or the way the breast could feel.
There is evidence-based that husbands find a lot of the lumps during sex,
Yeah, of course. And because if something feels different, you need to get it looked at.
Right.
Don't delay that because,
absolutely not.
The sooner you diagnose, the more options you have at the end of the day.
Yeah.
All right. I don't know how we got into the breast cancer.
I know, right?
But I love when we do that.
Yeah.
But if I am wrong, I encourage people to please reach out and correct us, and we will re-educate the population.
Right. We are not experts. It's just chat.
Yeah, it's just chat. The other thing, yes, we talked about Debbie. We got into breast cancer, which is cool. We were talking other themes about coming out later in life, talking about, on the subject of sex. I know we keep talking about you coming out later in life and me coming out later and stuff, but I had a thought about how much it impacted me, because I don't have those close relationships with my family members that I wish that I had.
Yeah.
Because I disappeared for a while. I didn't have those relationships, and I really wish that, I could have, it was easier to come out so I could have those relationships. Because I know, when I spend time with my family, it almost feels like I'm a stranger sometimes because I've missed out on so many things.
Yeah.
Like I've missed out on, I remember when my sister Cynthia got married, she was with her now husband, for like almost 10 years.
Right.
And I didn't meet the guy until they got married,
Yeah. Well, with me, Carlos, I came out in May or June, around
Last
Father's Day.
Yeah.
Right. So, you're looking at maybe 7 months ago, and I haven't seen.
Wait, hold on. Was it 7 months ago?
Yeah.
I thought it was last year you came out.
No.
It was this past year?
Yeah.
I keep saying that it was over a year ago.
No. It was around. It was Father's Day.
Holy shit. This past one?
It was the Sunday after Father's Day of last year. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. So it's not even been a
It
year?
hasn't been a year, no.
Holy shit. I keep saying my timelines are all fucked up.
Yeah, but anyhow, I lost my train of thought. So, oh yeah. So I came out like 7 months ago, and I have yet to see my brother, any family members, or my kids. I haven't seen them in a while. So I don't know what's going to happen when I do see them. What kind of questions they're going to ask, or
Yeah.
face to face. We've talked about it,
Yeah.
over the phone, but face to face, it's going to be different.
And I've had conversations with your brother Jimmy over over
Yeah.
the phone. Your
And my
sister,
sister, yeah,
Ilya,
yeah.
who was also her nickname is Mike as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I have a sister she's named after my mom. My mom's name was Elia, Elia, not Elia, Elia, and my sister was named after my mother. And during my mom's pregnancy, my father was saying, "That's a boy. It's going to be a boy, and we're going to name him Michael. It's going to be little Mike." And everybody was like, "Okay, all right, Mike. We got a little Mike in there. That's Mike's in there." And when she came out a female, obviously, and they went with my mom's name. It was already set that if it was a boy, it was going to be Michael, and if it was a girl, it would be Alia. Came out a girl, but they busted my father's friends busted his balls like. Oh, there's your little Mike, and then it just stuck.
the name stuck.
Yeah, little Mike, So
And to this day.
yeah, to this
Yeah.
day.
She's
But
still,
you know what? Yeah, it's crazy until this day.
she still refers to herself
Yeah,
as Mike.
a
As
lot of
well.
people call her Alia, but people know her as Mike. Absolutely,
That's
yeah.
awesome.
Isn't that funny?
That is amazing.
A woman named Mike,
But it works. It works.
a
because
guy named Sue.
There you go. But yeah, family is interesting like that, because and I don't know why I set up those barriers as an adult because I should have known better. I wish I would have known better. I wouldn't have missed out on all this family stuff. I would have had the deeper relationships. It was important that my mom understood and knew, but she was the one that probably had the most issue with it, right? Like, I wish she was around more when I had the heartbreak, being dumped,
Yeah,
broken off with some,
right.
you know what I mean? And even now, it's hard to have that conversation about my marriage
Yeah,
that broke down.
Well, she was probably like, damn, my son is gay. There goes the idea of me being a grandma,
And it's funny because, my younger brother, probably will not have kids. He and his girlfriend do not want kids.
Yeah.
So just to just a little confusion because I talk about a mom and dad and my biological mother. I was adopted at a younger age. I was raised, snowplow.
They just dropped the plow again.
I was raised by my aunt who adopted me at a young age, and her husband, they raised me. He was in the military from Honduras. My family was, my mom and her sisters were born and raised in Honduras. That's how they met their other halves. My biological mother, divorced, or never married my biological father, whom I never met. I never met the guy. But at a young age, I was raised with 3 other siblings.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was the eldest, and they were technically my cousins, right? And then I have a half brother through my biological mother. And so it's the biological mother that I'm talking about. She really had some issue with it, or maybe that's what I interpreted.
Right.
Yeah.
You mentioned that your younger brother would probably never have kids.
Yes, and that's my biological half brother.
Yeah. Like I have a daughter who's 38 and a son who is 36, and they're not married, and and they're not even planning on that. I don't. There's a this generation or that generation of I don't know. Are they millenniums? People in their 30s.
Yeah, millennial. They would, I guess, we're millennials. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. So I guess that the millennials don't want to have kids. You know, they don't want to own a car.
Yeah.
They Uber everywhere. There's nothing in their refrigerators. They don't want to own homes. They eat out every night. You know, they don't buy houses. They like to buy like a condominium. You know, where a place that has the pool on the fourth level, a gym,
Yeah.
a coffee bar, the cleaners, a shuttle that's there to take them to the tea. You know. It's different.
It is very
really is.
different.
Yeah.
And they're getting married later.
Yeah.
They're having kids later. I mean,
Yeah.
it makes sense. We're living longer.
Right.
You know? And I guess the thing is, like, and the next generation after that, Gen Z, right? They can't afford anything. Nothing is
God.
affordable.
Right.
Right? I mean, didn't you say that one of your colleagues how much does she pay for childcare?
$1,000 a week.
That's fuckery. That's
Horrible.
crazy.
Horrible.
So you're working just to pay for that? Then what's the point in working? Just
Really?
stay home with your own kid.
Yeah, no shit, right?
Like that to me is craziness.
Yeah, but when you think about it, that's all we do is work to pay bills.
Yeah.
You know, it's tough to save. You know,
It is. And
It really
you
is.
know, I work the two jobs and I still
yeah,
and I said this before, I still get nervous about it.
yeah,
Right? Because
it's
I'm
the
like,
job.
ooh, one wrong move and I lose my job. I'm done. You
Yeah.
know, like I'm always gonna have two until I can't.
right.
Right. And we did talk about like retirement.
Yeah.
There's gonna be
If I
none.
was younger, I think I would do 2 jobs, not 2 full-time jobs, but
Well, I don't do 2 full-time jobs. I do a full-time job and a part-time job, but it's still like 60 plus hours a
Right.
week, you know,
Yeah.
almost 70 sometimes,
yeah.
you know. Do you feel like you missed out on anything by not coming out earlier in life?
No, not necessarily.
Right? Because you were still in relationships with women.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you know, I was married. I got married in 1986 at the age of 25.
But damn, see that back in your day, people did that.
Yeah, so I got married at 25, and you know, I divorced like 5 years ago. You know, so yeah, I was married for 33 years.
Wait, you were divorced when? More like almost 10 years ago.
No, about 5 years I've been divorced.
Oh, okay. But you were in a relationship with another woman
Yeah,
before the divorce
Yep.
took place. Okay,
Yeah.
I got it now.
yep.
All right.
But yeah, it's and you know, I was married for 33 years, and I dated her prior to the marriage for 10, since we were 14. So I was with her for 44 years,
Wow.
you know, and she found out. She picked up my phone and seen that Grinder account.
Mm-hmm.
What's this? You know.
After a 44-year like relationship, you guys couldn't work it out. You know,
It is tough on a woman. It really is. It's tough. It was tough for her.
I mean, did you ever talk to her about
Yeah,
that?
yeah. She just couldn't. You know, well, it was that. You know, I got caught, and you know, she kind of the sex kind of began to diminish. You know, and I strayed from my marriage with a girl.
Yeah.
You know, and then she found out about that. So I got it from both ends. You know,
Yikes.
and that topped it off. You know, that topped it off.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I
Yeah.
meve that's fair.
Yeah.
Now you're leaving her for another woman. That's
Right.
completely fair.
Yeah.
Because the way I looked at it, like, you know, I've had dates, you know, with bisexuals, all right, and in my mind, like if they want to be with a woman, there's no way I'm going to compete with that. You know, another guy, yeah, but against another woman, no.
Right. You
And
can,
I suppose that's how she felt,
Yeah.
or they both felt,
Right.
well, let me take that back. I guess that's how she felt when it came to the other woman,
Mhm.
right? She's like, okay, well, I've lost him.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what it was. I don't know. I'm speculating.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not in her brain. So
Right. But it was tough. It really was.
that's a lot of change,
Yeah.
you know, big changes,
Yeah.
right? So like,
Life changing.
yeah, absolutely. It's really disrupted a lot for you,
I'm sure it did. Yeah.
you know, and I think now you're trying to salvage or,
Yeah.
you know, try to repair or whatever,
Making amends.
making amends.
Yeah,
That's the way
with
to
my
say it.
kids, you know,
Yeah.
with my kids.
So like now that you and I have been in a relationship, like how's it different? Is it different?
No, I don't. It's not as, no. Sexually, it is.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
about it. But, you know, when we're sleeping together, it's not like, wow, I'm sleeping with a guy. You know what I mean? It's not, there's no wow. It
Yeah.
seems normal.
Hmm.
You know, it seems natural. It seems normal. It's, you know,
Yeah.
it wasn't something that like I had to get used to. It came naturally, you know.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I you know I feel comfortable with it, you know, within my own skin.
Because I know like one of the things that I hated about being on any of those websites, meeting men, you know, because a lot of it felt very much like casual encounters. And and you know, it's weird about that. And maybe I'm weird. I don't know. Well, but I guess I hated it so much because I'm not good at the casual sex game. You know, like for me, I need to have some sort of connection with the person, you know. Attraction is one thing, but it wasn't always enough for me. Like I had to find the person interesting, you know. Be you know, that being said, just because I met someone online didn't always mean that I would hook up with them sexually. Right? Because there were times that I did meet up with men, you know, and maybe I was like, yeah, I'm you know, sexual encounter, you know, like it's just to fulfill a need, right? I wasn't looking for love per se. But I would be, let's say, out meeting someone, let's say, and they would say the wrong thing or they would just be really stupid, in my opinion. That would be a big turnoff for me.
Yeah.
And I don't know if a lot of men are like that,
Yeah.
you know, but for me, I was like, no, there needs to be more. Like they would do something and I'm like, okay, I can't with this.
Well, you know something? There were plenty of times where I would be hosted, you know, and I would go, you know, to the apartment, the house, the hotel room, whatever it was, and you know, I would get there and didn't like what I seen, and like right then and there, I'd be like, but thanks, it's not, you know. You're not what I pictured. I'm not feeling it, and I would turn around and leave. You know, I wouldn't wait until it got hot and heavy. You know what I'm saying? If I didn't feel it right from the rip, you know, I would turn around if I wasn't comfortable with the looks or even the setting. You know, if the house was dirty.
Oh,
you know what
yes.
I mean?
Oh,
Like,
I've been in places where it's disgusting.
I would never like, you know, like like there's been times where like family members would be home or roommates, and he'd be like, shh, come this way. Come.
No, we're done.
Yeah, right. And then you know you go in the room, right, and it's fucking filthy, rotten, dirty, you know. All the lights are off. I would always say, put the lights on. You know, can you put the lights on for a sec? Put them on, and you look at the bed, and you can see fucking dirt on the bed where you were sleeping, like that. You know, the sheets haven't been cleaned.
Oh,
you know what I mean? And
That's
like
disgusting.
clothes all over the floor, dirty clothes, like just unkempt. You know, just gross.
Fucking
like,
hygiene matters, man.
absolutely,
The
get me
fuck?
the fuck out of here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's disgusting.
absolutely. Yeah.
And yeah, so there was a lot of that for me.
Right.
Like I needed something else than
yeah.
just you're a hot dude.
Yeah.
I could have fun with you.
You know, I'm very familiar. You know, I'm a recovery coach. You know, I deal with the disease of addiction, and I know Like I've walked into apartments where I've seen, hypodermic needles in the bedroom, crack
jeez.
pipes, and I'm like,
That's some serious shit.
this isn't going to work out,
Yeah.
and I'd bang a Yui. That happened a few times.
I'm sure, because
Yeah.
I for me that happened. So I don't know if other men thought like that, but it seems that you were like that too.
Yeah.
So how the fuck
I
did
was
we
picky. I
how
really
the
was.
fuck did we end up together then?
Well, I mean, you had a nice, clean house. You're you're a good-looking guy. You look clean. You were dressed nice. I asked what you did. You said you were a nurse. You're a professional, and it worked. Right from the rip.
It did.
Yeah.
There was a nice connection there.
Yeah, it was.
Immediately.
Yeah.
But it's funny because friends that I do know that have engaged in casual encounters, for them, I remember talking to Fabienne about them and, telling her, hey, this guy is an attorney and da-da-da. And she was like, you're already asking too much. And I'm like, what? And she's like, yeah, the French, right? You just have sex and that's it. And I'm like, but I can't do that, right? Like, I just can't be like, know nothing about you.
Right. Yeah.
Like some people out there can just fuck and not know their name. And I'm like, I at least need that.
Yeah.
Right? Like I can't just go for it. I don't need to fall in love with you, but there needs to be something
a
else.
connection. Yeah.
For me to have
Right.
enjoyment in this, right? To have any sort of investment, I need a little bit more.
Right.
But a lot of these people, these guys that were out there, they didn't offer any of that, and a lot of them were in the closet, and so they didn't want to offer any of that information, and there were times that I was like, yeah, I'll see, I'll try. And it's, the person's really attractive and like they're into it, but it couldn't get into it. Right. Because I didn't have enough to play off of. Right. It wasn't enough just to have your physical body that was beautiful and like, you're hung and whatever, you're right. And you're a masculine dude. We could have a lot of fun. It wasn't enough for me to have that. I needed more.
Yeah.
And what's sad, I remember one encounter that I had, this guy, he was into it, he really wanted to, but he was married and it felt sad to me because he wanted to be loved. He wanted the sensual part of it.
Right.
And then I was like, I can't give you that.
Yeah.
Because the moment you do that, you've crossed a line.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And and I thought about it afterwards because like I didn't enjoy the encounter, right? He got off and I was kind of like, oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
That whole thing was weird to me,
right.
And he wanted to kiss me. Because some guys don't want to engage in kissing.
Yeah.
They don't want to like do that, right? Because they think that's too gay almost.
Yeah.
But this guy was into it.
What was the old Boston newspaper? It was free. And it was like really, it was a strange paper. In the back, they had like hookers and casual encounters.
They had hookers?
Yeah. Yeah. What was the name? Let me see if I can Google that.
Wait, you're talking about back in the day when that shit was in print?
Yeah. I'm talking in the.
Well, if you don't remember the name, what did you want to say about it?
Well, that's how I made my first hookup. Like you.
And that was in your 40s, you said, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And like pagers. We were using pagers. And I remember I went to right off of Route 9 in Newton. Beautiful house. And I he was a younger guy. And he was living with an older guy because he was just too young to own this place. You know what I mean? And when I went into the room, there was a bureau filled with dildos. They were all standing up and vibrators, like a collection. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Wow.
Yeah.
And
like, you know, and then he went to the bed, and I followed him. This was the first time ever. And he took his pants off, and I pulled my down, and I got to my knees, and I put my mouth on his,
Yes.
yeah, and I panicked because, like, as I went down, I seen like a bump on his dick.
Oh,
You know
no.
what I mean? Yeah, like a birthmark or something. It wasn't a disease. It just turned me the fuck off,
Yeah.
And I said, no, I can't do this, And I left there. Like, my first hookup was like chew and screw,
Wow.
Yeah, a couple of little tastes, but that was the first time I ever felt anything in my mouth. That was weird. Yeah.
So, like, now that you're with a man, okay, you're with me, right? It's different, obviously. You said because sexually, one of the things that came up, my friends jokingly were like, "Oh, well, like, so who's the dude now?" And I was like, what do you mean? And they're like, "Oh, we're just kidding." They were kind of half joking, but they're like, "We know you're not the dude, Carlos." I'm like, "Oh, fuck you guys. Like, what are you talking about?" Like, but
you always tell me that I'm the dude in the relationship. You always say that to me.
I do, because you're definitely the more masculine one, but like, we didn't grow up having role models on how to be gay,
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
how do you like navigate the dynamic of two men, two women, trans couple? Like, I don't even know how that works.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I've had girlfriends before, well, like, I was taught that you'll be you're the chivalrous one, right? Where you hold the door open, you do that sort of, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's always that dynamic. You always pay for the date because you're the male. You always do, right? You need to be the breadwinner, because that's how I grew up, But the thing is, like, I've always been in the position where the person that I was with was always the one that wanted to be, say, the top, right? And even sexually, it was like that, and because I just didn't have anyone to use as a role model, to be like, "Hey, is this how you do things?" Because the way we are together, like getting things done in the house, laundry, cooking, paying bills, like, we kind of fell in our own dynamic, and we just kind of do things, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, it flows. It comes natural.
Yeah.
And we're not hounding each other. Like, did you do the laundry?
Yeah.
So, the toughest question is, are the dishes in the dishwasher clean or dirty? Should I turn it on? But we keep a clean place.
We do.
Everything's
Yeah.
orderly. All our clothes are clean. We have food in the fridge. That it's not.
I mean, we both do laundry. We both clean.
Yeah.
We both cook. I mean, you're much better than I am in the kitchen.
Well, you always say that, but you can hold your own.
But like, it just seems to flow, that
Yeah.
dynamic.
Yeah.
But sometimes you do certain things, like when we're carrying groceries, you insist on taking the heavier things, more of the things.
Right.
You always want to hold the door for me. I'm
Yeah.
like, "Anthony, knock it off."
You do the same, because I'm older. Like like I'm a geriatric fucking old man.
No, I try not to treat you like that either. So,
Damn. Be careful. Watch yourself. Look both ways crossing the street.
well, I mean, you and safety are not friends. We discussed this. You
I'm
don't.
like a bull in a china shop.
Yes, you can be. You have the tendency sometimes.
To wander off.
Yeah, you kind of do. We always got to look out for you.
God.
But like, sexually, it was supposed to be a casual encounter.
Mm-hmm. It was.
It was okay. We had fun, but we both, I guess, we started to offer each other what the other needed.
Yeah.
How is that? How was that for you?
Well,
Because
it's
I mean, think of it this way: you went for the casual encounters,
yeah.
right? And that was just to fulfill a need,
Mm.
right? Can't I'm not in your brain, so I don't know. You weren't looking for love
No, no, I wasn't. But
because at one point, let me just put this out there, because at one point when we were together for a bit, we were seeing each other all the time. We were enjoying the time together.
mhm.
You were telling me that you had to go back to your old life. Do you remember this?
Yeah, a little bit,
And then you were
yeah.
like, and then we were like, so we're never gonna
Well,
see each other again?
well,
like, why?
yeah, yeah.
Why the need to do that? Why couldn't you just stay?
I was still like wrapped up, I had my belongings over there. I had an investment in the house, and all that stuff, and it just didn't work out. At the end, she ended up getting a restraining order.
She was really angry about you coming out.
Yeah, she didn't want to let me have any of my. She was angry because I fucking cheated on her with a guy, and she was like, to
Valid.
her, it was embarrassed. She was embarrassed.
Well, that's a valid thing to be upset
Yeah,
about.
she was embarrassed. That her boyfriend was with men, well, with her.
Yeah.
And here she thought that how could I do that? God knows what they have, diseases, and then you bring it at home. That's what cheating is, whether it's a male or a female. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I always used a condom.
Yeah.
You know?
I always engage with protection as well.
Yeah.
I mean, because again, we grew up at a time when people were dying from AIDS.
Right.
That always lingers in my mind.
Yeah. And plus, she had a young son, and he had a dad, and I just didn't think that she wanted a role model in the house with her son that liked guys.
Well, that's pretty hateful on her part.
Yeah, it is.
That's ignorant
Absolutely.
and hateful.
Yeah.
Quite frankly. But at the same time, you did cheat.
Mm-hmm.
So that really fucked the dynamic up there.
Yeah.
But there was a time that, you were going to leave.
Mm.
And I was like, really? Like, am I the only one that feels that this is something?
Yeah.
And you were about to just let it go.
Well, I mean, we were at that point. I think we were still in the casual encounter mode. No, I really don't remember, Carlos. I don't remember.
No, it had been months.
I was in such a fog back then.
Yeah.
I was in such a fog. I wasn't clear-headed. I had a lot going on.
I almost thought that you were confused about the whole thing.
No, not at all. No.
It was. I know that you had feelings for me. I felt them.
Yeah.
Right. Like, I know when we are, for sexually, like there is a back and forth. There is, it's sensual. It is, how was it? I guess I wanted to ask is how was it with women? I think, was it difficult for you knowing this part of yourself, or was sex just sex? Like,
yeah, no, it wasn't. It wasn't like, ooh, that's a pussy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It wasn't like that. Because I've had pussy through the years, obviously. And I came out late, and there was a lot of times that I would go years without being with a guy. I was like stagnant. And didn't even think about it. But as I got older, it started to play itself out, and I started to crave, and I was more curious.
wow.
I was more curious, as I got older.
Okay.
And I pulled the trigger and said, fuck it, like women, it's not working for me, because when I'm with a woman, I cheat because, I go to a guy,
Yeah.
And now I feel as though I don't even want to look at a woman, like sexually.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's not enticing to me
Okay.
any longer, And for the most part, I don't even look at guys. You know what I mean? Because I think that, I found you, and to me, you're the end all.
Oh,
You know?
that's really
That's
sweet.
seriously, that's the way I feel. You know?
I feel honored. That's nice. No, I do. It's kind of
That's the
nice.
honest to God truth.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I because I know for me, like I couldn't earlier, like I tried, I did, I was able to climax, get off.
Mm-hmm.
But it was hard for me. I just had a difficult time, so difficult with women that I was able to with men, but I needed some sort of connection,
Right.
something there,
Yeah.
and it was the times that I've had it. I feel very fortunate, because men approach love and sex very differently. And I don't know if that has a lot to do with the way we grew up. Me growing up, for example, I was taught you have to be the masculine one. You have to do everything that men do. Men do not cry. Men do not show feelings. Men are the head of the household. So you need to be in charge,
Right.
And it's almost to the point that it was toxic,
Yeah.
and I
What
don't,
do you say, a father figure? Like,
yeah, because I had an adopted dad, military and everything, and he Latino, so there was a lot of machismo there that I don't think that he was aware of. It's just how he grew up, right? And he was in the military, and that's what men do. It's very different now, the approach. I guess what I'm trying to get at is there's a lot of issues with masculinity that I like right now it's all coming back, like these ideas of like alpha males. I don't even know what that shit means because I've seen these videos where there are these men at these alpha male camps. They beat them up and they try to toughen them up and then make them go through.
what, like Navy SEALs? Like,
Like some of that bullshit,
Yeah,
and I'm
yeah.
like, what the fuck is this? And if anything, I look at it and it's like, it's quite homoerotic,
Yeah.
if you ask me. I'm like, you just want this guy to like, jizz on your face at some point,
Oh, God.
but it was just ridiculous.
My God.
But that's what it felt
No, I
like
hear
to
ya.
me.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
why do you need to be like that? Like how is that necessary?
Right. Yeah.
It's nice that, when two men can express their feelings and show love for each other and just be,
Yeah.
for fuck's
Yeah.
sake.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I'm kind
Yeah,
of
like there's no pressure between us.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's
There
just,
is.
we come and go, to work and, the kiss goodbye, the kiss hello, and like, I don't know. It's just, we created a nice atmosphere.
We really did. It's so easy.
It really is. There's no
It's so-
fighting. We're not down each other's throats. Like, you know what I mean?
And we talk.
Yeah.
We talk about shit,
Yeah.
which is nice.
Yeah.
You
Yeah. No, I mean, we're best of friends too.
I think a lot of that is too because we're older.
Yeah.
We know what we don't want.
Mhm.
We might not know exactly what we want, but we know what we don't want.
Yeah,
At least we
yeah.
have that.
Right.
Right. And there are certain things that we're both.
We've settled in our own ways.
Yeah.
We've settled down.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's nice.
Yeah. It's not kid stuff.
I wish those role models were there.
Yeah.
Right? Like, oh, this is how you can do it. And this is what it looks like.
Right, right.
And it's not the same as being in a relationship with a female, with the opposite sex. It's just different.
Yeah.
Right? There are similarities, you do negotiate certain things, but it's still the way you get to it is different. Right?
Yeah. Like with you, it's, I'm still getting used to it. Like, kissing somebody that has scruff on their face.
You hate the scruff.
You know what I mean?
I love the
it's
scruff.
Like, yeah, but like it's, like I've been with a woman so long, to feel that, that kiss and to feel the chafing going on my face, or when you're going down on me, feeling it on my cock, you know what I mean? Oh, we're going to have to juice that out of there, X that out, but you know what I'm saying.
No, we get the explicit rating on the warning.
Yeah.
So hopefully they don't like kick us out by any distributors and stuff. But if we do, then we've learned our lesson.
Right.
But no. It's different. It definitely. At first, it was different for me. Now I've been doing it for so long. It just feels right. There were some things that happened this week that we should talk about. There was somebody in our area who died, and he was unhoused.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember you bringing it up. You were sobbing. You were in tears over this guy.
Well, yeah, like Paul was a gentleman who was on a divided highway. He was in the middle on the divider, a patch of grass on the Linway, and he would have a sign just saying "Have a nice day," and he was out there a couple of years. Stemming, a guy in his 70s.
Mm-hmm.
And, I was on Facebook one day and I just, I was scrolling and somebody put out there that, if you knew of this guy on the Linway, he was hit by a tractor trailer this morning.
Mm-hmm.
And he was the guy, near the gas station. And I was like, oh my God, because I seen him on my commute every day.
Yeah.
And I would always make him, if I was making lunch, I would make an extra sandwich for him. I would make him a cup of coffee, buy him a coffee, give him a few dollars. But he loved ham salad,
Yeah.
Yeah, and I got to know him. Like, he knew my car. And I'm a certified community health worker, CHW, and my trunk is loaded with all kinds of outreach materials, and I offered him, just about everything you can imagine that you would offer somebody who is not housed.
Yeah.
And he just didn't. He would take a couple of bucks. He would take a cigarette or the food, and that was about it. But as far as services, he really wasn't interested.
Yeah. And it sounded like he was supported by a lot of people.
Yeah.
Because
people chimed in, and the comments, hundreds and hundreds. People got to know him, and saying that what a sweet guy he was. A lot of people. There was a woman at the gas station crying.
I know. I was wondering what happened, and you had told her, and she just broke down in her car.
Yeah, and all the on Facebook, all the messages, and the comments coming. Everybody knew him, and everybody felt bad.
Yeah.
People were like, "I'm in tears. I can't believe it. I'm sobbing." He was a great guy. I always gave him something. My husband just bought him new winter boots. I gave him a blanket. My kids know him. Mom, make sure you stop and give Paul something today. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he was a fixture on the Linway.
It's nice that people cared.
Yeah.
They had this empathy for this
Right, but you know what?
person.
Like, I thought I was the only one. Like, I didn't realize, the enormity of it, where there were hundreds of people doing what I was doing, So this guy, he must have been cleaning up,
Wow, I wouldn't look at it that way.
No, I mean,
Still
because if you look at right, but if you look at all the comments, right, even if a tenth of those people went by him and gave him something, he was doing all right.
What struck me about the comments is that people gave a shit.
Yeah,
they cared about this man, and they were heartbroken.
Right,
that's what struck me with that.
Yeah,
I was like, wow, that's incredible.
But
that people still care.
Yeah,
people still have like a heart,
and people want to do something for him now.
Yeah,
but like, where were we before he passed? Like, we didn't all get together because we didn't know the dynamic of it.
Yeah,
the enormity of the love that this guy was. He was loved.
He really was.
Yeah,
that's what I got from seeing all the
Amazing.
comments on
Yeah.
social media. That's amazing. It's nice that people still are like this because the way things are right now in the
Right.
world, I just see so much cruelty
Oh,
right now, you know,
Yeah.
and it's too much.
especially to, the unhoused, right, and the poor.
And those who suffer from substance abuse,
Absolutely.
disorders,
Yeah,
things
whether
like
it's
that.
drugs or alcohol.
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
not.
second-class citizens.
Yeah, and speaking of cruelty, all this stuff. I can't stop thinking about ICE in Minneapolis right now.
Out of control.
Yeah,
Totally out of control.
completely
No,
not.
no guilt, no remorse, no shame.
Completely not what America is.
No, like they're just
Or
fucking.
ever has
They're
been.
cold-hearted killers.
That's it.
They're murderers.
Straight up, they're Gestapo. That's what they are. They are Gestapo
Seriously.
from
How can you go
World War
home and
II.
hug your fucking kid?
yeah.
Seriously.
So another person died yesterday, right? The
Senseless.
Alex Preddy,
Pathetic.
right? I saw a lot of the videos.
Oh, they're everywhere.
They're everywhere, but there's from different angles.
Yep.
And even though, the Fed is claiming that he was coming for them, he wasn't.
Yeah.
There's no evidence
Right.
in several of these videos.
Right. And they just left him there for the local police to take care of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like it was trash.
They killed him in cold blood.
Yeah.
Like point blank.
Right.
And I think there were like 10 shots.
Yeah.
I mean, fuck. The guy
Did
was
you see how they all backed off? They all shot, and they all backed off at the same time. It was so weird.
It's fucking wild. And the thing with Renee Good, her car was in the other
Yeah.
direction.
Yeah.
Like, what is happening?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, this is
People are fed up.
they're going to get fed up. And I think this is what they want, and they want us to be chaotic in a
Yep.
way that they're going to maybe impose something crazy like martial law
Yeah.
and then do things like cancel elections.
Yeah, I think that it's going to go the other way too. I personally think that there has to be a group of people out there planning to get them. Snipers. I personally think that they're going to be ambushed. They're going to start getting ambushed.
I don't think more people need to die.
Right,
This is enough. I can't.
But they're going to start fighting back because there's nothing else that can be done. The only way.
There's, up from the top, they can stop this.
That's the only way. Local can't.
They can stop this. They're
Right.
choosing to not stop it
Right.
right now. They're
Local
defending.
can't, though.
They're defending this atrocity.
The governors of
right
these
now.
states have no fucking say. They have no say.
Well, I think what they're saying is even if they are federally pardoned, that the states can still press charges criminally. They can still come after them for criminal state charges, which I don't know how that's going to play out right now.
I mean, you can't even tell who they are.
But the bottom line is this. Why are American citizens getting killed?
Right.
Okay. Why are the Fed saying, why are they allowed to just pull out their firearm and just lay a clip into someone? Because that's what they did yesterday.
Right.
Right. And that to me.
What's this new organization that Trump has? The Peace Commission, or what is it?
I don't even know what you're talking about right now. But
Oh,
we'll look into
yeah,
that.
yeah. He's the only one that can veto this new commission that he established. Oh my God! I seen it on the news today for the first time. It is weird.
Mm-hmm. I don't know anything about that, but
Oh, you're gonna see it real soon. You're gonna see it real soon.
But you know what, Minneapolis? Stand up. Okay? Don't give up. Don't let this just happen. Don't accept this. This is wrong. The federal government needs to make this stop. Enough already. We cannot, this will not sustain. I'm sorry. This is not going to, this doesn't work.
Yeah.
Right? This is some Nazi Germany shit. We need to stop. Enough. You know, and I'm sure a lot of people feel that way. I don't care which side you voted for. Like, you have to understand that this is not what America should be.
Right.
And I don't think it ever was this way. Why are we going in this direction? You know, this to me is bananas. Enough. Right? This fuckery
Out of control. It's
needs to
sad.
stop. Yep.
You know?
But I'm sure we're going to be talking more and more about this, you know, as the days go. But today, I think we need to come to an end because it looks like the Patriots are on now.
Yep. And what I was talking about is the Trump Board of Peace, the Board of Peace he created.
The Board of...
Yep, the Board of Peace.
That's...
And we're going to talk about that.
Yeah, we are, because I don't know what the fuck that is. But that sounds like a bunch of horseshit.
Yep, it is.
He's still trying for that fucking peace prize. Yep, piece of shit.
The Board of Peace.
Anyway, we got a game to watch.
Yes. Go Patriots.
Patriots.
Against the Denver Broncos, 3 p.m.
And we're going to see how they go.
It's 3:04.
It's now, the game has already started. Well, thank you, everybody. Please like, subscribe, comment.
Yeah, comment. Let us know. Just one of you, like, you know, put a exclamation point that you heard us.
Yeah.
Anything.
And you know, we would love to have you on the show. You know, on the pod. Find us.
Yep.
You know. All right.
All right.
Until next time.
There you go. Ciao, man.